Good morning and welcome to another one of my videos. Today we've got a 2006 Volkswagen Golf diesel in. The customer complaint, well, he's got three complaints. He's got a front brake issue, so we're going to put some front brake pads in for him. He's got an ABS fault, so we're about to give it a code scan, and he's also got what he says is a squeaky engine noise when he's driving. So I think we'll have to road test to diagnose that. But for now, let's give it a code scan. Okay, we've gone straight into VW because we're going to go straight to the ABS module. Models, guided function, automatic selection. Let's try that. Read VIN. Let's see if it reads the VIN. It probably won't because it's probably a little bit old. Oh, it did. Right. Okay. That's okay. 2006 sedan. Engine code. Right, just bear me a second. Right, so what we've got is a 2 litre. It's a BKD engine, so it's number 9 now. 2 litre TDI. 2004 sedan. Yeah, we'll go with that. We'll go for ABS brakes. Read codes. Right, and we've got a 00290 ABS wheel speed sensor rear left, sporadic mechanical failure, and we've got an ABS wheel sensor rear right, sporadic implausible signal. Okay, right, that gives us a heading, doesn't it? So we'll what we need to do really is get some live data. Right, just bear me a second. Okay, right, so I'll put you on the seat now. We'll scan to on the seat. The engine's running. We'll go back. We'll get some live data. Input channel number, custom list. Alright, so what will we want? Just bear me a sec. Well, we've got two lots of PIDs for each one. So we've got front left, front right, rear left, rear right, and then we've got front left, front right, rear left, and rear right again. So we'll tick all those for the time being. We don't need any of this stuff. We don't need ABS warning lamps, steering angle sensors, rotation rates, brake pressures, or any of that. Speed ranges 1 and 2. No. So we'll accept all those. See, it's saying on the second left, it's saying not applicable, so we'll get rid of, so we'll go back and we'll get rid of all these ones. That just gives us our 4, so we'll graph those. We'll zoom out. And we'll go for a little spin. Alright, be back in just a moment. Well, I don't know how well that was picking up for that, but you can see that both front wheels have got clean signals. The right rear has got a very choppy signal, and the left rear is signals breaking up. Alright, so to sum that up then, the two front wheel sensors are okay, nice clean signal. The left rear is breaking up, it's got lots of dropouts. And the right rear is all over the place, mechanical fault. So what we're probably looking at is could be two rear wheel bearings, because the rear wheel bearings come with the ABS ring attached to them, and usually the ABS ring breaks up. So what we'll do, we'll whip the wheels off, we'll have a look, we'll have a visual, and we'll see what they're like, and if we clean them up, we'll clean them up. So let's crack into that. What we need to do is, to get into these rear wheel bearings, is we need to take the caliper off, we need to take the drum off, and then all the disc, and then we need to take the bearing out, because the bearing comes, or the hub is a complete unit with the ABS ring on the back. Being that we have got a signal, I'm assuming that the sensor is okay, and I would imagine the trouble is going to be with the tone ring on the back of the bearing. So I'll bring you back in a moment when I've got that off. Well, I'll do it step by step. We'll take the caliper off first, which is that 13mm bolt there and that 13mm bolt there. So once you've got those two bolts out, the inner bolt, if it spins around and you can't get the bolt out, that's a 15mm. So you put a 15mm on there to get your 13mm bolt out at the end. So you can just pull the caliper off the pads and position it out of the way. Just take your pads out. Pads aren't too bad, but probably about 50% worn, but they're alright for the time being. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take that Allen key bolt out there, and then the drum should come out past these two spigots. Yeah, that little bolt is not an Allen key, it's a spline one, it's a star key. It's a T30, so that just comes out, and then hopefully you can normally on these Volkswagens just fiddle the hub out around the brake caliper, because on the back of these, I don't know whether you can see, but they're like 15mm, 30mm big spline bolts, and they are really hard to get out normally. So let's have a look down here. We can see, if we zoom in a bit, there is our ABS sensor down there. Look at the focus, that's it, our ABS sensor's there, and the tone ring is on the back of this hub. So what we'll do is we'll take this off, and then we'll have a look, and we'll see what's going on there. So to get that off, pop the cap off, undo the nut, and we'll draw the hub. Being Volkswagen, they don't have a nut, they have a big spline bolt, which is a M18 spline, big bugger, and that goes in there. We'll tap that in to make sure it fits nicely, and we'll whack that out. Right, so we've got the big bolt out. That was really tight. I can't remember what the torque spec is for there, but they are fairly tight. I had to use my 1/2" breaker bar and scaffold pole to get that open, but once you get that off, then you can pull the whole hub off, and you can see there's the ABS sensor. Focus, that's it, it's just started skimming the edge of the sensor, so that should be okay, I would have thought. But on the back of this hub, the wheel for the contacts is all round there, the pickup ring, and it looks like it's all, and it's not flat, as you can see if you look down there. So it looks like it's all rust jacked up, and you've got smooth patches, rusty patches. So we're going to go and get a new bearing, or another couple of bearings for the back, because I'm sure the other side's the same, and we'll put it back together and see what that's like. So off to the factory as I go. Oh, I'm back from the parts store. Got my Napa wheel bearing, not a sponsor. I always wanted to say that. If you watch Erico, you'll know what I mean. Not a sponsor. So let's open that up and see what we got. We get, oh, a nice new bolt and a cap. Let me just undo these bags and I'll be back. Yeah, a few minutes later, in one bag we have a nice new shiny cap, and we have a nice new bolt, because you can only use these bolts once because they're stretch bolts. And in the other bag we've got the nice new wheel bearing. Little plastic cap on the top, and there we have a different style tone ring, nice and smooth. So if we compare that one to that one, let's match that up there. Wait for the brake shoes. Lovely stuff. Alright, let's see if we can, I'll clean that rest of the hub up first, and then we'll go about putting this hub on. Right, we've got the hub on. I put the bolt in, but I haven't torqued it up yet, so what I want to do, we've got a nice little gap there between the sensor and the hub, so that's not touching like it was before. So what I'll do, we get the scan tool on, and we'll make sure we got some data before we tighten it all up and box it all back together again. Right, so we're in live data. I've only got the one graph on for the right rear wheel. What we're going to do, we're going to spin the wheel. I'm going to spin it with my finger. There we go. So what I'm doing is just spinning it with my finger. And it seems to, let's see if we can get you down there a bit closer. Should we turn this light off? We go out the light. Right, let's try again. That must be better than what we had before. Right, so unfortunately I've got one bearing, but I couldn't get another bearing, so we've got to wait. This is Friday today, so we've got to wait till Monday for the next bearing. So what I'll do is we'll box this back up, and then we'll have to wait till Monday. So it'll be like a blink of an eye for you, but a couple of days for me. Right, so tightening torque for this big bolt in the middle is 180 Newton meters plus 180 degrees when the car's on the floor. So that is whackingly tight. So I'll come back to you when it's all back together. Right, we'll go for a quick drive just to confirm that the ABS is working okay, or not? Yeah, the ABS signal is working alright. Speed signal. As you can see, that bottom right hand one now is as clean as the two front ones. So I'll say that one's a fix. So it just leaves the near side rear. Okay, welcome back. It's not quite Monday morning yet, it's actually Sunday afternoon. But I thought I'd make a start on this. So what I've done is I've taken the wheel off, taken the disc off, and I've hooked the scan tool up so we can get some before and after live data. So this is what the data looks before I've done anything to the hub, to the ABS ring. Right, so I've got it all stripped off, and all I'm going to whiz it around with my finger on the hub to get some live data on the scan tool, which is down there, and we'll see what the pattern looks like. So if I zoom you in over there, and I start to turn the hub, we'll try and keep a nice steady speed if we can. Now it looks like we've got a couple of dropouts, a couple of spikes there. Try and go a bit faster. It's a bit difficult with the thing. Right, hang on, let's see if I can. Right, we start off nice and slowly. I'm going to build up a little bit of speed. You see we've got a few dropouts there, the same as what we've got on the live data in the car. Right, I don't know what we can see here, you can't see much at this sort of angle, but if I zoom into where the ABS sensor is, you'll see the ABS sensor is just down there, and this is the ring, the tone ring, which is on the back of this hub. Looks fairly flaky, so we'll go ahead again and we'll take that bearing off, and then we can have a look at the back side of it. Right, so it's pretty much the same as the offside one. Set a focus on there. Focus. There you go. You can see the ring has just started nibbling away at the sensor, so that should be okay. And on the ring itself, you can see it's pretty crusty around there, and it has got a few high points like there. You can see it's a bit shiny. You can see that. Zoom in there. You can't really see, but around there's a nice shiny mark where the sensor's been rubbing, and it's all sort of rust jacked as it was before. So yeah, wait till Monday and get a new bearing. Hello and welcome back again. It's now Monday morning. I've been to the factors and I've picked up my new Napa wheel bearing, not a sponsor. I've installed the bearing, and now we're going to get some live data to see what it's like after we've fitted the new one. Right, so here we have the new bearing all fitted, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to spin it like I did on the one before, and get some live data, which is over there. I'll zoom you in a moment. But on this one, don't do what I did on the previous one and put your finger in there and spin it with your finger, because these are sharp and it can give you a cut on the end of your finger like that, which is not good. Right, so I'll focus you on the scan tool. Down there. And we'll start to spin. Try and keep it a nice steady speed without shaking too much. And as you can see, there's no spikes, there's no dropouts. It's a lot smoother than it was. A bit faster. I think that should be okay, and if you can see down there, where we're looking, there we are. I'll zoom out a bit of focus, there we are. See, now we've got a nice got a gap now between the sensor and the tone ring, so there's no more rubbing, no more crunching. So what I'll do is I'll torque that up. I've got to do that to its 180 newton meters plus 180 degrees. We'll box it all back together, and then we'll put the scan tool in the car and we'll go for another little drive. Well, I don't know whether you can see, you probably can't see because of the sun, but all the live data is now good. All the patterns are. I'll have to take a picture of that because you definitely can't see that. Hang on a sec. Right, so we're back in the garage again, and just to confirm, I've cleared all the codes, reset the steering angle sensor, and we're all good. So the only lights we've got on now is the bonnet light because the bonnet's open, and the seatbelt light. Right guys, so that's a fix in my eyes for that one. So that's the end of part one. That's the ABS sorted out. The next part that you'll be watching will be in probably about a day's time. I'll put that up. Will be the front brakes, just front brake pad change. So that's nothing too much. Then part three will be the reversing lights fault, sorting the reversing lights out. The only other fault I've got on it is I've got another fault of the squeaky noise under the bonnet. That is just an alternator belt. I think the belt's flapping around, so I'm going to put another belt on it. If that doesn't sort it, then it might have to have a tensioner, but I won't bother filming that because that's just nuts and bolts under the bonnet. So look guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this little series, and we'll catch you on the next ones. Bye bye for now.